All right. So first impressions, we don't really have any water, right? The moon can be seen as a water element, but I'm looking at this Knight of Plumes and this arrow pointing right at the moon, looking at the moon. And I'm getting more of like the Egyptian kind of moon, which they saw the moon as air, right? Thought. So I'm kind of, wanting to say, especially with this desert here at the bottom, and then we see this summer card with the water here below it. And it's making me feel like if you can get into water, right, take a spiritual bath, right, which is going to make the earth element a little bit more malleable, and drink lots of water, right? We have here and here, the Emperor and the King of Stones, your earth and your water, fire, right? So we need something kind of counteracted a little bit. Because, then we have the Knight of Blooms, which is water in the future. So just to kind of like help that along, right? Because we do have heart here and here, but they're both air signs. So, there's this need to balance the heart and the mind, and the heart, but the heart is air. I just remembered that. I was going to, because we equate it with emotions. And, I do see that, but here we've got this heart zone, it's sweating blood. So there's this need to replenish it, I'm feeling. Okay. So with that out of the way, make sure you're, because right now I kind of feel like you're a little bit parched. There's this need for water. Yeah. Because you might be feeling, and I'm drawn to this Eight of Bones and, the cerebral fluid that runs through our spine. I'm feeling like, there's this need to, because this is rigid, right? If it's not, that fluid isn't moving, and as I'm doing like spinal flexes right now. So drink that, and you might want to look into some spinal flex exercises, right? Exercises for the spine. I'm just feeling that for some reason. Okay. Probably because this straight line, right? Think about your posture. Okay. So we'll go over here to your past, this God of Plumes. And, I really do get, this moon, this is like some truth that you've found, this new way of thinking, perhaps a new idea for some of you. But it's the embodiment of air. And I do get this very, because we've got, and it's giving you this confidence, this beautiful confidence. And we do have, the lovers here. This is full moon eclipse in Gemini. And I forgot to mention in my intro that it is an eclipse. Yeah, you're feeling that, right? This is you. You're really feeling this eclipse. And the thoughts that, we have Mercury. Yes, Mercury in Scorpio is making, it's going to be in opposition to Uranus in Taurus. So, yeah. But that's obviously, like, I'm really getting this, these downloads that are happening, these ideas that are popping into your head. And thankfully, you've had this, it's like you've, that's what I'm getting, that you mastered the air element, right? Which leads you to now. And that's why I'm feeling like, now you need to be connecting with that water element to kind of balance it out a little bit. You really connected with the air element. And, the Mercury is in Scorpio, which is a water element. But it's intense, right? Which is why we're getting this blood and this 3 of plumes here, right? There's these intense feelings, these intense thoughts. But, and there might be this need for a sacrifice, right? We see his milky eye here, which also brings in that intuition, right? The mind and the intuition meeting together. But, I'm reminded of Odin here, right? Odin sacrificed his eye for knowledge, and it might not necessarily be that you have to sacrifice an eye, but if you are like on some kind of vision quest here, right, with the desert, there might be something that needs to be given up, whether that is like, fasting for a few days, right? 3 of plumes here. And then we have the 3 crystalli here. I'm going to say crystalli. I don't know if that's the right way to say it or not. But, or perhaps, a vow of silence for a day, something you can think about but I feel like if you're really wanting to make this connection, I feel like there's like a little bit of a sacrifice involved. Take what resonates though, right? But, I'm just drawn to the fact that we have, and this right here, right? The singer of connection is a 6. And I do get this sense of healing the heart, connecting with spirit, right? It's connecting with your higher self here. Kitty cats. In the masculine and the feminine, there's tremendous growth here, right? We see these little fern fronds growing up from it, and with the sage here. I mean, like, and we've been talking about how much you've grown during this period. I think by the time, because, Uranus is at 7 degrees of Taurus right now. So it's going to be there for a while, guys. But, by the end of this period, and it's going right over top of my, and this reading might include me as well. My Venus in Taurus, I just realized it in the 10th house. It's at 8 degrees of Taurus. So it's been going right over top of mine, and I haven't even paid a bit of attention to it. I'm like, oh. So, it's like by the end of this period, there's going to be so much growth. You're not even going to be able to recognize yourself, or myself, which that's been happening for a while. But, this is Saturn and Libra. So I'm really, and Saturn is about restrictions. So I feel like there's something that you're going to be restricting, on a voluntary basis in order to make this connection. And this could be on the physical as well, right? I mean, like, I do tend to do more spiritual readings, and I do feel spiritual reading here, but this is very much, there is that feeling of love is in the air. And of course, it is restriction, right? So I kind of feel, and that there's the only bones, the only earth we have are touching each other right here, right? So I kind of feel like this isn't necessarily coming into fruition on the earthly plane just yet. But when you're in this energy, when you are making this connection with spirit, with your higher self, when you're finding this balance between the masculine and the feminine, the head and the heart, you are making it, but you're naturally going to bring love into your life, right? This is the future. The Knight of Blooms, the Knight of Cups. And he's got a sword. He's a swordfish, right? So it's that, this is carrying over. Your plumes here, this is finding the balance between the two. And then this is being able to take that air energy and move forward in a very balanced way towards, what your heart wants, knowing that, you did it the right way, because he's looking right at this Knight of Plumes, right? Be brave and honest. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm just oh gosh. Wow. I'm just wowing. Okay, so under Knight was High Priest, intend and create, right? There, I do feel like there's this creative process that's happening too. Sage, once again, be devoted and committed. Underneath that, Air Guardian, shift your perception. Under that, Lord, this is the Emperor in this deck. Underneath that, the Sun. Underneath that, Heart Guardian, right? I mean, I could probably, underneath that's the Seer. See beyond your current situation. And underneath that is the Mirror Guardian, which, it's about, yes, seeing yourself, but also, I get that mirrored, soulmate feeling come through with that, especially with the fairy who was kissed by pixies down below. That fairy who was kissed by pixies is also, just love and being touched by spirit, right? There's a lot there. So we'll go below now to your subconscious mind. And we've got, a 10 and a 10 here. So that's matching this. And, this is your connection, and that's connecting with everything, I'm just, and the fact that we've got the 3, because what we want is for your above to match the below. And I say, yes, I say, you've got the belief, but it's very realistic, right? You're watching your thoughts. And because of that, you're more able to, keep those positive thoughts and take action on the negative. Know when to take action. You're watching this. You're subconsciously you're doing this. So when you see an opportunity arrive, you're ready to go. Right? You're really watching everything. You're even watching your emotions. I feel like everything. You're picking up on everything, and this is transformational, right? We have here the Knight of Plumes with the butterfly, right? Okay, so now let's move out here to what's surrounding all this, right? This is the center of everything. It's beautiful energy here. I just love this. You know, and there's this optimism here too. You know, Gemini is youthful energy. And that there is, you know, if you are making a decision, right, you're using your heart, you're finding this balance. I don't necessarily see a decision, but, you know, very often there are decisions that we're making we're not even aware of, right? All right. So this is kind of the first week energy too. And, you know, there might be some action being taken, but for the most part, I just feel like you know what you want, right? Standing in your power. This, you know, there's this growth that's happening, this evolution happening in your mind, and just, you know, very grounded, intellectual, independent thought, right? The Emperor, the King of Stones, the Nine of Bones, these are not people who are influenced by other people. This is complete independence. Very stable, right? This is the pelvis here. This is an elephant. This is very auspicious energy, I have to say. And we have, you know, this, you know, it's the ram, of course, but horns. And look at the growth on those horns. Yeah, this is just a testament to how much you have grown this year. Taking a minute to look at that and, you know, really appreciate yourself. She just ran by to confirm that. I feel like, you know, this is making a plan too, right? Because we are, you know, although Mars, you know, has moved forward, it's slow going, right? There's still those 3 planets that are in Capricorn, right? There's kind of like this squeeze as they're getting, you know, Jupiter and Saturn will both be leaving. You know, this is Saturn. Those last few degrees of Capricorn are kind of going to feel restrictive. Cats. All right. But I don't see, you know, I think you're just using this to your advantage. I think you're just planning. You can see what's, you know, these guys are, you know, this is like being able to look at the past and the future at the same time, yet staying present. Seeing outwards and seeing inwards at the same time. I mean, this is just like wonderful energy. Okay. So the second week, right? This feels like action to me. You know, we have these horns where here it was, you know, it's like the same, but now we're leaping forward. You know, there's this forward momentum here in this second week. And of course, I do have to say, you know, we want to keep those arrows, right? If you watched the intro, you know, we're aiming short to begin with, right? And then keep moving it outwards. But this is like, you have your truth, you have your transformation, you're ready, you know, there's integrity here, right? Be brave and honest here as the underlying energy. And taking this plan that you have here and moving forward with it. And very confident, very sure of yourself, right? And knowing that's exactly what you want because you took the time here. And it leads to this Knight of Blooms, which, you know, and this is in the fire position, which is that creativity. This is, and, you know, this Knight of Blooms is looking right at this Knight of Plumes. So I feel like they are like very much connected, right? By you moving forwards. And it's like, I almost feel like this, perhaps where you're really connecting with spirit, right? That kind of channeling energy. But you're also applying a more, intellectual kind of thought process to it, rather than just like moving into it and letting whatever it's like getting this idea of what you want to create ahead of time. And that's kind of like just adding this new element, and like that just like blows you out of the water, right? This is like a whole new creation that's coming about because of that.